So you want to buy, sell, and or move to Del Mar, California? You've come to the right place. Stay tuned because in this video, we're going to talk about 7 things you need to know when moving to Del Mar, California.
Be sure and stay until the end because we have a special tip that we will share with you about things to know when moving to Del Mar.
Hi everyone, it's John Elizabeth Finley coming to you from none other than Del Mar, California. If you're interested in all things Del Mar, what to know when moving to Del Mar, cost of living in Del Mar, best places to live in Del Mar, where the locals like to hang out, best surf breaks, best beaches, restaurants, and everything you need to know about living in Del Mar, then be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell below to get notified anytime we release a video of what it's like to live in Del Mar, California.
So here's the deal. We make these videos because we get people reaching out to us about buying and selling in Del Mar and about moving to or relocating to Del Mar on a daily basis. So if you are one of those people and you are interested in moving to or relocating to Del Mar, or maybe you currently own a home in Del Mar, we'll leave our contact info in the description below. You
can call us, text us, email us, direct message on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever is convenient for you. We help a lot of people buy and sell homes in Del Mar, and we'd be happy to help you too.
Okay, without a further ado, here are the 7 things you need to know when moving to Del Mar, California.
First thing is opening day. We have the races in Del Mar. We have the fair and we have the races during the summer. And so
June is the fair, and then
July through August, first week of September is the races, and the city swells. It just it's packed. But opening day is awesome.
It is. It's a lot of fun. All the hats, the ladies.
One time.
Right. And it's a lot of headache getting there. And
it's fun. Everyone gets dressed up. It's like a mini version of the Kentucky Derby. I shouldn't even say that because the Kentucky Derby is like the Mecca. But everyone gets dressed up. They're wearing hats. They start drinking at 9 in the morning. Right. It gets crazy. It's a spectacle. And it's pretty fun to go to. But when you do it year in and year out, you're like, okay, this is a little much. Right. We call it amateur hour, but it's good thing. It's a good thing to go to once, but the track goes for weeks upon weeks upon weeks, and so you have many other days that are less crowded and less hectic that you can enjoy it.
And you can still experience opening day by just going to the plaza or to one of the restaurants after, because there are opening day parties in Del Mar on that same evening.
That's when the entertainment starts, right?
Yeah,
Everyone goes to the races. Like I said, they start drinking at 9. They'd go to the races, and then they go to the Del Mar Plaza to go party, and the people who lost, they want to drown their sorrows. The people who won, they're buying everyone drinks, and then there's anything and everything in between.
The women are just there to show off their outfits.
Right, right. And so the number 2 thing is, we talked about it in the opening, which is the city swells in the summer a lot because of the races, because of the fair.
Right, and just people who want to be in Del Mar for the summer. For example, people who come from Palm Springs or the desert, it's too hot there to be there. So
we get a ton of people from Arizona and Palm Springs and Texas.
Yeah, they just want to escape the heat, so they come out to where it's a little more tolerable, because we're probably like in the 70s for the most part.
70s and 80s, but they're like 110. So a lot of people come out during the summer. There's a lot of vacation rentals and second home ownership and stuff like that. And the beaches are just packed. It's cool. There's a lot of fun things to do, but it does get really, really crowded in the summer. And so that's why for our 3rd tip.
Right. It probably makes sense if you're planning to move here. It probably makes sense to move here in the winter. 1, because you'll have less chaos going on in the city. And then 2, I think it might be actually a better financial move to come here in the winter as well, because maybe you're not going to have as many people trying to vow for the same properties.
Right. So you might get a better purchase. And if you're renting, a lot of the people that we help rent first so they can figure out where they want to live in Del Mar, and then they buy. So you'll definitely get better rental rates in the winter. So, and it's just less crowded, less chaotic, right? So it's just a softer landing into the city of Del Mar, and it's it's a better way to just kind of ease into it. So one of our tips is you may want to consider making that move in the winter.
Right, and well, just one other thing. So many of the vacation rentals in Del Mar in the summer rent for higher prices, of course, because they're on weekly rentals and such. But in the winter, starting anytime after Labor Day, they go to almost the same price that they are per week in the summer for a month. And starting in mid-September through the beginning of May. So you can get what you would pay for a week in the summer, same price for a month.
Yep. So our tip number 4
Well, this is about the weather, and this is something that really surprised me.
You need to know this.
Yeah, May gray, June gloom, and it's a phenomenon here. It brings like this like weird winter weather, but it's not super cold, but it is a little bit cold. Like you want to put on like a hoodie or a sweatshirt of sorts. Really humid, and there's no sun during this May gray, June gloom stuff, and even mist.
It's misty. It's got this weird thing, like it feels like it's raining or sprinkling, but it's not. It's just the fog is so thick, it's just moist and mist.
Yeah.
But it's like, seriously, May and June, of those 60 days, probably 50 of them are just like cloudy and kind of a little cold, and it's just counterintuitive because you think like, oh, it's springtime, it's summertime, we're thawing out, everything's going to get right, and it doesn't happen here. I like it. I'm used to it. I grew up with it here. To me, it always signifies that, hey, we're almost out of school and summer's going to start. But it is strange. People come here and they're like, what is this? So
yeah, what? I wasn't planning on coming here with winter clothes or right. Yeah. For us San Diegans, it's like a second winter. For people who are, from a really cold winter, they still feel it's warm.
Yep.
But yeah, for us who have thin blood here, we're like, it's cold.
So the other thing you want to know when moving to Del Mar is there are great entertainment options. There's great concerts in the park in the summer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and they're really fun.
When we say park, we say Powerhouse Park, which is right at 17th Street, just north of Jake's Restaurant, which is a great restaurant to go to. There's a little side tip. But
right on the beach.
It's this green grass park where you can, so they set up a stage and it is packed, like, I would say literally like the size of a football field. Everyone lays blankets down, they tailgate, they food, drinks, and then the sun sets as you're listening to these great bands. They have phenomenal bands, right? It's just super cool. So they have those concerts, and then they have Friday, 4 o'clock Fridays at the racetrack, and which means the races start at 4 as opposed to like noon when they usually do.
Right.
And then they end around
7:30,
and then 8 o'clock they have a band on Fridays. So there's some really cool entertainment options that are
right. And I mean, they have a band. They put it out on the where the racetrack is, and so I mean, it's like being in a fairground essentially.
Yep.
It's a huge bands.
So the other thing you need to know, if you're moving to Del Mar proper, I say that because Del Mar really is only west of the 5. There's one location that goes north on Via de la Valle. It goes east of the 5 a little bit. It's a weird carve out of Del Mar, but really Del Mar is really west of the 5. And I say that as a local because I grew up here. And when I grew up here, there was nothing east of 5. There's now a community called Carmel Valley, and everyone in Carmel Valley thinks they live in Del Mar, but they don't. Del Mar is west of the 5. That's what you need to know.
Yeah, and didn't it used to be called something like North?
It was called North City West.
Something like that. Carmel Valley used to be called that.
But they changed it to Carmel Valley, which I think is a better name. But it is funny. People like in Carmel Valley say they live in Del Mar, but they don't. They live in Carmel Valley.
Well, and okay, so moving on to the next thing. One of the best things, and one of the reasons why people want to live in Del Mar, besides all the beach access, is they have great schools.
Yep.
Now, I'm talking about the elementary schools in this case, because with the junior high and high school district, you can live in multiple areas around Del Mar and still get the great schools access.
But the cool thing is they've got great schools, like she said, elementary, but also your junior high and your high school. The cool thing about high school is you have your choice of the high schools aren't in Del Mar proper, but they're close by, and you have your choice of 4 high schools that you can go to. So while your housing is going to be expensive, right? It's going to be expensive to rent. It's going to be expensive to buy a home. And so it's a personal preference. You don't have to spend the money to go to private school, right? You're going to spend a lot for housing, to rent a house or to buy a house, but you really don't have to spend money to go to private school.
To send your kids to private school.
The schools are so good that you're kind of set, right?
Right. So it's worth it in that way. Spend your money, get the beach views, and be close to the ocean, and then get your kids into great public schools. Right.
And then so you guys stayed to the end, and we want to reward you for that. We're going to give you a tip.
A local's favorite.
Yeah, if you've been to Del Mar, then you may already know this, but if you haven't, one of the best sandwich shops in the world is called BREW, and it sits right out about 13th Street and Camino Del Mar. And you'll know it because in the summertime, there is a line out the door seemingly all the time.
All the college students back in town.
But they have phenomenal sandwiches that you are not going to get at Subway, at Jersey Mike's, at any of those chain restaurants. This is an amazing sandwich shop that you have to go check out. And they have the secret sauce that is like to die for, right?
Oh yeah, like our kids, like that's the first place they go to when they come home from school.
Yep.
And they will drive a long distance to get to it, and then they want to take the secret sauce back to college with them.
Yep. So you got to go to Board & Brew. And here's another tip. Line is out the door. It's sometimes the line is busy for a long time, but call ahead. And then you could skip that long line and walk right up and say, I did a call-in, and they will give you your bag. It's the pro tip. And then you can go eat your sandwich at the beach. So
there we go.
There you go. We help a lot of people move to, relocate, or move within Del Mar. We're passionate about it. We love selling Del Mar, and we love helping people. So if you guys have any questions about Del Mar, where to eat, where to live, anything, where to go to the beach, best sandwich shop, whatever it might be, even though we just told you, reach out to us. We're happy to help you anytime.
Yeah, we're here for you. Looking forward to hearing from you. Take care.